Is it your book or something? It is, but if you have your book, you can also use your book. Okay. It might be a little easier. Great. What code did you type in, Olivia? Did you type in the right code? Let me see. If I don't have my laptop with me right now, because I think I forgot it at my house, can I get on the?
Oh, I see what you're saying, Olivia. Go ahead. Sorry, Jordan.
Since I don't have my MacBook, so I forgot it at home. Can I go to the phone?
Yeah. But I do notice that the link is bad, so I'm changing it in Google Classroom right now. If you guys join the link in here, but those of you that are at home, I do see that it's not working. So I just added a new one, and I'm gonna refresh it in a minute. So you should be able to use that new one. If you, again, those of you that are at home, if you just tried to sign in, it said invalid code. But it should work now. I just updated it and put in a new one. I don't know what was going on there. Try to see if you can get into this one. Wait, Liam and Marty are out. Can you just wait until one of them comes back? Cool. Call me back, guys. Yes.
Everyone's saying hello.
Okay, so those of you at home can join in the Nearpod. See if it works. I just added a new link, so if you're not in, I would appreciate letting me know. I'm hoping this works. You guys can join in that, or you have your Blue Unit 3 book. You can follow along in here. If you would prefer to use your book, you can. What? But is everybody, were you able to get in?
Oh, it
We need a
says.
code. Okay, your code is 49 ATY. 49 ATY. It's not on the stream yet. Let me see. Try to refresh. Mackenzie, I've refreshed mine. It should come through. I'll type the code in the chat. Here's your code. See if that works.
Wait, is it on the screen?
It should be checked. It works. Jordan was able to get in, so it should be there. Your code is 49 ATY. First one I had didn't work, so this might take a minute. Oh no, see, I see some people coming in. People at home here. Cool.
How do you put your name in wrong?
I did an M instead of an A. I'm going back.
You think this is better to do this?
Jaden.
Yeah.
All right, so as we wait to log in, we are moving into using formulas for circles. We measured some things on Friday. Those of you that were in the classroom helped us do that. And we found the relationship between the diameter and the circumference. Any of you in here, I know it's hard when we're at home, remember what the radius of a circle is?
No, I can sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, take your time. I'm just asking questions as we're working to sign in. We still have a good amount that needs to sign in. Again, follow that link. Your code's in the chat. Oh, Jaden, I see your name. Your mistake. Okay, I'm gonna switch just to start talking about stuff we talked about on Friday. We learned parts of a circle. Anybody remember or recall from Friday, again, I know it's hard whenever you're at home, what the radius is? Right?
It's the distance from the center.
Have the center of your circle, your radius is your halfway point. What's your diameter? Jordan?
The distance around the circle.
That's your circumference. Circumference is all the way around your full circle.
Oh,
It's
distance
across.
Diameter is your distance across.
It's-
Okay. Okay, so your radius is your halfway point, your diameter is your distance across, circumference is the way all the way around. So we have a couple formulas that are good to know. If I need to calculate the diameter, take your radius and multiply by 2. So if in this circle my radius was 4, what would my diameter be? If my halfway point is 4, what's the whole way point? Jordan?
8.
8. Simple stuff, guys. Wake up a little bit.
I was listening.
Okay, sorry. No, you're good. Don't think everything I say is coming to you. I know you're working toward it. It's all good. Okay? 4 and 4 make an 8. On the other hand, if I know the diameter, I can cut it in half to find the radius. So if my diameter is 12, what would my radius be? That's 6. It's that simple. The only other part we looked at on Friday was that we can find the whole way around the circle or the circumference by taking the diameter and multiplying by pi. What number do we use for pi? Anybody remember? What number do we use for pi?
For pi?
Marty?
I don't know from center, is it? Yeah, I know it's 3.4 something.
Close, 3 point something, Katie? Yeah. So if I wanted to find the circumference of this circle, and again, I'm just making up these numbers, we would take the diameter, which was 8, and multiply it by 3.14. We typically just round to 2 decimal places to make it
I
easier.
have a calculator.
So you have one. You probably will need one with some of the questions we're gonna
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's just stuff we wanna know. Diameter is the full length. Circumference is your way around. To find that distance around the circle, take your diameter and multiply it by pi. So we have a couple pictures. We have a couple items. A wagon wheel, and the dimension shown is 3 feet. In this wagon wheel, what do we call this measurement? Courtney?
I had it, but I forgot it.
What is that length through the circle?
This is what I did not interrupt the class, but I don't think people can hear you.
It seems like Olivia's the only one having trouble. Can anybody else hear me? Yeah, so Olivia, maybe try to turn your volume on your end up. Thank you, Penny. And thank you. So yeah, I don't know, Olivia, maybe try to turn your volume up. Seems to be on your end. But if we look at this, my distance here
So,
is 3 feet. But what do we call that measurement?
I just said it, yeah, I forget.
Jaden? The width, but in a circle. We have 3 new words that we know. Radius, diameter, circumference. Which one is that one? Marty?
Radius?
Radius is your shorter length, it's your shorter word.
Yeah. Diameter?
Guys, over here, wake up.
Diameter?
It's your diameter. Okay? So my diameter is 3 feet. On the next slide, we're going to go through, if I know that that diameter is 3 feet, how do I find the radius? How do you find the circumference? We have an airplane propeller, 25 inches. What do I call that length? Jordan, want to try?
Oh, what is it? 3?
It's your radius. Again, it's hard at first to differentiate between the radius and the diameter. Radius is your shorter length. It's also your shorter word. Diameter is your longer length. It's your longer word. So then my last one is the orange peel with the tape measure going all the way around it. Which one's that?
Circumference.
Circumference. Circumference circulates. Wait, I'm starting right around circumference. Circulates the whole object around the outside. So those are your measurements. My circumference here is 20. So I'm going to switch the slide because we're going to see a table and go through how to find these measurements given only what we know. So if we look here, I have a diameter of 3 feet. What's that radius gonna be? Or how do I find it? Ready?
It's gonna be 6 feet?
I
Oh,
got-
no, never mind, I forgot the diameter is already the biggest.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I got that mixed up.
So my whole length is 3. How do I find half of that? Okay. Divided by 2. What's 3 divided by 2? 1.5. And then again on Friday, with the kids that were in the class, we measured and made a table pretty much just like this, and saw that if I took the diameter of an object and I multiplied it by 3.14, you're gonna get the circumference. So in your calculators, take 3 times 3.14. You want to enter on my calculator? What's the circumference of the wagon wheel? Jackson, type it in, figure it out. Legit.
What, you want me to answer it?
Yes, I said Jackson, type it in, figure it out. Take your diameter, 3 feet, multiply it by pi, 3.14. What's your circumference?
Me, it says 4.5 times.
3 times 3.14. What do you get? Jaden? 9.42. Making a warning now, I might mishear some of the decimals that you're saying because it's part of the masks. We're never too concerned about the decimal places. If you say like 4.1, 9 is here, you say 4.2 or something, it's not the end of the world.
Sorry to interrupt the class, but can I get a tissue?
I have my airplane propeller has a radius of 24 inches. What's the diameter gonna be?
48.
48. How do you know it's 48?
Because you multiply 24 by 2.
Exactly. So now if I know my diameter is 48, how do I find the circumference?
You take 48 and multiply it times 3.42.
Yep. And what'd you get?
And I got 150.72.
Perfect. Now it gets a little bit more challenging because all I know is the circumference. So what do you think I can do here? If I know my circumference is 20, how do I go backwards to find the diameter? Jordan?
You divide 20 by the 3.14.
Divide that by your constant of proportionality. So then what is 20 divided by 3.14? Aiden, go ahead.
6.3694.
Okay, so 6.36 about. So then how do I find the radius for the diameter? Jim. Divided by 2, so what's half of 6.36? Probably about 3.18. Cut both the parts in half.
So she's like, yeah, I'm not.
Okay, but that's the main idea. Radius times 2 is your diameter. Diameter times pi is your circumference. So no matter what you're given, if you have your diameter, you might have to divide to go back. If you have your circumference, you also might have to divide that by pi to go back to the beginning. We'll go with that if I switch.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question, we're going to make use of the fact that the airplane propeller has a radius of 24 inches. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is draw the airplane propeller on our screen.
Wait, you didn't switch it.
Oh, I didn't, I'll do that in a minute.
Sorry.
Oh, flower. No, thank you. Okay, here's an airplane propeller, then it kind of looks like a flower. We have that a bug is sitting on the top of it, and the airplane propeller is rotating around in a circle. I know that the radius of this propeller from the other problem was 24 inches. I need to figure out if this spins 5 times, how far does that insect move? So whenever I draw this rotation, here's where we're starting, who goes around, what do we call that measurement? I go around the whole edge of the circle, what do we call that?
Just I can't say
Circumference?
yeah, 'cause
Yep, So we have the circumference. So we're basically being asked, how far did he travel if he makes 5 rotations? Is asking us, what is the circumference? But if I go around this once, that's 1 circumference. So once I figure out the circumference, if I go around 5 times, what would I have to do?
Multiply your circumference by 5.
Exactly. So that's just the plan of what we have to do. We're calculating the circumference, we're making 5 rotations, we're multiplying it by 5. Alex, if my radius is 24, what's my diameter? Jackson, help him. If we want to laugh at people in class, then we can also answer. Shayden, my radius is 24. What's my diameter? Oh, remember radius is the smaller length. I need the bigger one. So right now, exactly. So right now, all I know is basically one of these is 24 inches. So then what's the whole part? Multiply it by 2, and I get, we just did this, right? The diameter was 48 inches. And again, this is where I'm trying to get. Find the circumference and multiply it by 5. So if my diameter is 48, redoing some of the stuff we did on that other page, what is 3.14 times 48?
150.72.
Right, again, we just found that on the other slide. The difference here, again, is that we're talking about going around 5 times. So 1 rotation is 150, multiply that by 5, so we can figure out 5 rotations. What do we get? 150.72 times 5. Marty? Okay, just plug it in. Tell me what you get. Jordan, what do you get?
753.6.
And then I don't know what we're in inches. Okay, so you do have a homework question asking you about the rotation of an object. I think it's a Ferris wheel. But when it's asking you about rotating around a circle, you're just traveling the circumference. So it's just another word to find that. And you find that by taking your diameter and multiplying it by 5. You can use the pi button. You have a pi button on your calculator. It looks like this. Or you can just use 3.14. Okay, are we good with that? One more difficult problem. We have a track field. Field inside a running track is made up of a rectangle that is 84.39 meters long. So I have a length here of 84.39, and then I would have the same length here, 84.39. And it is 73 meters long. I need to figure out the distance around the entire shape. So I need to figure out what this length is around. So in that inside green shape, what do you notice about what it's being made up of? What 2 shapes make up the big shape?
Ovals.
So I have 2 ovally looking things. What do you notice, Marty?
I was gonna say,
Okay, what else?
And that, they are not they're not like the same, they're not the same, length.
Mm-hmm. So I do see 2 ovals. I see this bigger one, but I'm specifically just looking at this green one. So if I just look at this inside piece, what do you notice this big oval is made up of?
It's a square in the middle.
It's a square in the middle. What else is it?
It has 2 like half circles.
2 half circles. So if I take 2 half circles, I can form 1 circle together. If I need to know the distance around the outside, what do I call the distance around the outside of a circle? That's our circumference.
I can't say it.
So this question is basically just asking us, find the circumference of that circle and then add in those extra length pieces that are given to us. It's basically asking us to find the perimeter of that shape, but now we understand that the perimeter of a circle is a circumference. What do I know about the circle?
Sorry.
What information is given to me about the circle?
I mean, they're two halves.
There are two halves, so I put them together to make one. But what else do I have? There's a part of the circle that's given to us. What part of the circle is given to us? Morning.
They I forget what it's called.
So if we look at this length here.
And length 73.
That in the square, I would call that the length. It's
Yeah.
73. What is it in the circle?
The dang it, I forget the word.
If I try to build the rest of this circle so we can see it better.
That would be like the splitting point, kind of.
What is the length through the whole inside of the circle called?
Not the, I forget what it's called.
So someone else can help out either of the two people in the middle of the room. Okay. Circumference is your distance around the outside. I already pointed to where our circumference is. I'm saying if this 73 meter segment comes right through the center of the circle, Jaden, radius is your little part. Marty,
I forget. Yeah, diameter.
I was gonna call you, but then I pointed at you. It's the diameter. So the diameter of my circle is 73. Again, if I need to find the distance around the outside, that's the circumference. So if my diameter is 73, find our circumference by taking 73 times 3.14. What is the circumference of our circle? James?
229.22.
229.22. Okay, so that's the circumference of the whole circle. So that means that I took care of this part and this part. So that's 229 meters. How would I figure out the whole outside part? I'm walking along the inside of the track. So I'm starting here, I'm walking, flatten out, continue to walk all the way. How do I figure out the two parts that are missing, Jordan?
So basically 73 will be the flat part, like that flat part that's not solved, but the circle, now that we know what half is, we could use the halves for the curves.
Yep. Well, that's what we did. So we found the halves. We found that both of these curves are 229 meters. So I'm walking along the path, and then I hit this 84.39 meters. So I can take my circumference and add in that flat length, and then I finish out my circumference. So I walked my entire 229 meters, but then how far else do I walk to make it back to where I started? It's another flat part, so we're gonna add in another 84.39. So if I add all three of those numbers, 229 plus 84 plus 84, what's the length around the whole track?
Kick me off the near line. Sorry. That's alright.
Jordan?
398.
398, and then plus some decimals. And with a problem like this, when we're talking about walking, maybe 0.2 of a meter isn't as big of a deal when we're talking about walking 398. But that's the main idea. We see this bigger shape, we split it up into a square and two half circles. So I found the perimeter, which is just another way of saying the circumference, and I added it to the perimeter of that square.
I'll go back.
Last slide. A lot easier. Answer this on your own, and then we're gonna go over it. Circle A has a diameter of 9 centimeters. Circle B has a radius of 5 centimeters. Which circle has a larger circumference? And then how many centimeters larger is it? So answer question number 1, question number 2.
Isn't I can't say it. Diameter? Yeah. But isn't that the surface around?
Circumference goes around the whole thing. Circumference circulates the whole thing.
Diameter is half.
Whole thing. What? You did not do that already. You're okay. Your second answer is not right at all. There's yes. You probably have like 15 minutes. So it's up to you. You're figuring out which one has a bigger circumference. And how much bigger it is. Jackson, what are you doing? Not this. You're not even logged in. Why are you not even logged in?
Because I don't have textbook.
Okay, that doesn't even make any sense. You have your iPad in front of you. You have Google Classroom. Why are you not doing what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people in your room are doing and following into the link? Not a single other person in this room has a book in front of them. Did you have your hand up?
What?
Were you raising your hand?
Yeah, I said I think
Oh.
I got it. The page did cut me off just a little bit.
It's okay. I can see it. Aiden, what the heck?
So did I get the question right?
Not quite, but we're gonna go over it. Okay. Keep looking.
I think you got it wrong.
You think you got it wrong? It's okay if you got it wrong.
Oh, I know what I did wrong.
What do you think you did wrong?
I was thinking of the what is it, radius for both of them. Now I think it's better.
Taking another minute to finish up. So you all see an answer on your screen. I'm gonna,
Well,
well,
I did get it
I
wrong.
guess you guys are all in your pod, so I don't have to do it here, because now nobody can see whose it is, right? You're not who thinks it is. No, so then everyone at home, that's your correct answer, so take a look at that, take a look at what you did. Okay, so that first circle,
Yeah.
9 was your diameter, so we did 9 times pi, and you got your circumference of about 28.26. But then circle B, what a lot of us didn't realize is that they gave you a radius of 5. So you have to figure out your diameter by multiplying that by 2, which is why you see that little arrow with a 10 down under it. So then 10 times pi is 31.4. So between 28 and 31, which one's bigger? Circle B, because 31 is a bigger number. So by how many centimeters larger is it? You can see that the student did their subtraction, 31.4 minus 28, and you get 3.14 as your difference. Okay? So again, you have to be on the lookout for problems like this where one gives you a diameter and one gives you a radius. Some of you just took the 5 and said, well, 5 times 3.14, 9 times 3.14, and figured out which one was bigger. You have to pay attention to the language. Radius is a smaller word, smaller measurement. Diameter, longer measurement. Good with that. You have about 10 minutes. Log in to the second part to get your practice problems. When you come back 10th period, you're going to be starting the next project. You're not taking it home. It's just something we're going to be doing in here 10th period today and tomorrow, and then next Monday and next Tuesday. Your classmates that were here last week started already. They did it on Thursday and Friday. They're finishing it this Thursday and Friday. It's not something to take home. It's not something that you're not going to get done. We have plenty of time. We're only going to work on part 1 today. Those of you that are at home, checking through your attendance, all you have really to work on is your practice
Is
problems.
this like a math thing or like just a coloring?
No, it's a math thing. What do you think this is?
Well, I was thinking it was something that was up there.
Yeah, I know, no. It more so goes along with what we did last unit with proportional relationships. But like I said, these guys that were in here last week worked on it Thursday, Friday. Some people are pretty much already done. We still have 2 days to work on it. Nathan, yes, you may go to work on practice calls. Yes. For your homework, remember that when it talks about rotation, that's your circumference. You can write your answer right on that picture. There's not really a space to type in your answer, but you can draw on that image.